We turning up, some of our birds, some of pull cup, cause now we going up and coming down. Hey, girls just wanna have fun. We turning up, someone wrote a runs, someone pull a cup, cause now we going up and coming down. It's gonna be a while, someone jump up in the crowd, throw your hands up, go wild.
Yo, we back. Why you gotta always start to laugh?
Yo.
Can we ever do an intro without Ant laughing before we started?
I just started. Boom. Go ahead.
I can do it again.
No, do it again.
And we back with another episode.
Keep that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm one of your hosts, Showface Scoop Moore.
Jules right here, sipping.
Episode 15. How we doing today, fellas?
Yeah, Chef Fun right here. We out here.
And we got a special guest today. Co-worker of Anthony, Paul. Welcome to the team.
What's up, Paul? How you doing,
Appreciate
bro?
it.
We're happy to have you today.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Episode 15.
Thank you.
How's it going? Like, say a little bit about yourself, real quick.
My name's Paul. 24. Don't really do too much. Ant just brought me on. Didn't tell me the topics. I'm excited to just show and go. We're out here today.
Spontaneous tonight.
Yes, sir.
We're happy to have you this Friday. And fellas, how's it going? Real quick, how's everything going? How's the week?
Well, it was all right. Personal life good,
That's good.
real good. A little bit under the weather. Got my flu shot, but just trying to stay strong.
Good.
Yeah, pretty much for me.
Your German engine is still messing with you.
That too.
Damn.
You know, it's expensive, but I got to get to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those studs in your ears. If you're watching on YouTube, Julian's wearing some nice
They're not mine. They're not mine, by the way.
cubic. Some nice studs in your ears tonight. You look good.
This dude can be on blast with the cube.
Oh, he's trying to bling on camera.
Hell yeah. City, how about you? They're good.
The week
Chef?
has been good. You know, what am I? 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks down to my food truck countdown of the termination of the building of it.
Big congrats.
So that's exciting. Just waiting. The wait process is long, but besides that, like I'm gonna say, gotta give thanks to the men upstairs.
Always, yeah.
We're here to the end of another week. We just have to give thanks to him. We're here together, all out at once, and let's get this thing going. Talk about some real stuff and just let it flow. But it's been a good week. Just give thanks. Not major though. Yeah, things have been good. Oh, for John, update on the last episode I spoke about when John passed away. The dude who stayed with us for a while. They're doing his memorial tomorrow, so we're having a whole thing in the morning at church.
Okay.
So I'll be
Okay,
home.
yeah. Condolences again to the family.
Facts.
I'm doing good. Life is good. You see, I'm holding the mic now. I made an executive decision now to just always hold. I always wanted to do the whole. I like the stand look, and I see Paul got his talking about.
Nah, I fuck with you holding the mic, honestly.
I feel like I like holding the mic, and
Yes.
I usually had a problem with I'll get too comfortable, I won't be speaking directly in the mic, but when it's right in my face, there's no problem with that.
Can't help
but
but move
yeah,
with it, right?
and it feels right. So I'm gonna stick this way.
It feels right. Holding like this in your face.
Yeah.
Feels right, right?
It feels right.
All
It
right.
feels right. But yeah, dive into this episode. This is a big one for us. Episode 15. Just gonna touch on mental health. And
Yes.
the ins and outs of it, how it affects us, how it's been how it is in the media spotlight, and things like that. Just looking to have a big discussion on that and get everyone's opinion. And feel free to share what you guys would like to share. It's an open forum, and even if you share something, and you don't feel comfortable with it, we could always edit it out at the end of the day.
Man, we talking.
We just talking, yeah. But we just talking, and feel free to share your opinions and everything. Before, we know that's been big lately in terms of in everyday life. Obviously we've been going through a pandemic for the last 18 months or so, and everyone's been affected because it's just changed the way you're living. But in terms of, let's start with the news that just came out in the NBA that for the second straight year, well, actually technically the third straight season, because they started in the bubble where they're not testing for marijuana, random drug tests this year. So I'm just gonna read the article real quick, ESPN, just to give everyone
So the announcement they recently made was
Yes.
the most big announcement about
this was about a day or two ago. So I'm just gonna read the article. It's not that long, real quick. So NBA players won't be subject to random marijuana testing this season, according to a Players Association memo shared with players and obtained by ESPN on Wednesday. The agreement between the NBA and the NBPA is a repeat of an amended policy that began with the 2020 Orlando restart and continued through the 2020-21 season, and remains again amid the league and union's COVID-19 protocols. Testing will continue for drugs of abuse and performance-enhancing substances, the memo said. Marijuana remains prohibited in the league's collective bargaining agreement, but negotiations between the league and the Players Association loosen restrictions. The NBA and NBPA have agreed to significant freedoms for vaccinated players, but remain stringent in protocols for players who haven't been vaccinated.
So if you get vaccinated, you can smoke?
So basically, yeah.
Yo, we've come a long way.
I know.
That's
a
fucking
couple 10 years ago.
stupid. I'm
Don't you wish
sorry.
you took the basketball career more seriously now, City? Yeah. You'd have been living right now.
But
You know what's corny about that
crazy.
is that like
What?
Josh Howard and OJ May are probably still playing right now if it was 2020.
Yeah.
oh really? What happened with them?
Because their careers got derailed because of that.
Was it just weed for them? For especially
from
OJ?
from what I saw.
Okay.
But I'm just saying I brought them up because those were like two of my
Yeah.
favorite players. But
Yeah.
yeah, like times are changing, so I get it.
Do you
Even old girl, the Olympics.
Yeah. Right before we get into
Oh,
Shakari.
Shikari, yeah.
How could I forget?
Yeah, how she got like screwed over for just smoking weed, especially during a tough time. Yeah, right before we get into that, I wanted to say of just like, you think it's because of just everything that we've been going through the last year and a half of all that, where they're just like, shit, like let's just give these players, or in this case the players, benefit of the doubt. They need to get away. Let them, like, weed isn't gonna hurt anybody. It's not gonna kill anybody.
I think
let's
that
just let it rock.
honestly, I think that a large majority of people smoke weed.
Yeah.
I'll be very open and honest. I don't smoke. It's not for me. I just have certain things in my life. Like, I cannot smoke. It's not healthy for me. It's not safe for me to do so. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, there's so much coming out, and like the times, like you said, are changing. People are realizing, like, you can go out and smoke pot. It's like, it's really, like, not only are there medical benefits from it, but like, if your whole league is already gonna smoke and like are just gonna have to like basically cover it up,
Agreed.
like, you don't want to suspend your star players
Agreed.
because if they're not playing, people aren't watching.
And what you said, cover it up too, because even before this came out, I'm sure they were smoking within that time, and they were covering it up to pass drug tests and stuff for the players. I'm sure it was happening.
Oh, I mean,
So,
dude,
like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out all the smoke, because all those
Like,
guys
yeah,
on
like,
Golden State,
yeah,
Matt
they even
Barnes,
said
and
that,
Steven
yeah.
Jackson.
They even said that
where-
was Smoke's another podcast.
Absolutely.
Bro,
Smoke to talk about that.
pot has been growing long before humans have been around.
Absolutely.
Yep.
People have been smoking it since they found it, or figuring out how to use
It
it
comes from the
in
earth.
different ways.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, like, talk about, like you said earlier, we're going to talk about mental health, and we can go into that later. But like, these athletes, yeah, they're getting paid millions of dollars. They're playing a sport. They're doing something fun for a living. But once you get to a certain level, and honestly, I think that level is probably collegiate. Once you take that step from high school to collegiate, it becomes less of a game and more of a job.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a
stressful.
fact.
You
That's a
need to
fact.
perform. And we're not talking about like superstars are superstars, but how many are superstars? And below that, you have your all-stars, you have your role players. There's guys who are fighting just to make the cut, and there's plenty of people who aren't making it. You go through summer league, people are bouncing around like
all day. Every
talk
day.
about big time potheads. Michael Beasley playing in the summer league at like, Lord knows how old that man is, like, right? I don't know. He's not necessarily a guy who's going to be smoking to deal with stress, but like, these athletes deal with shit, and they have to play a long season and deal with being in the spotlight. Certain cities get the media, like Boston, for sure. Like, it's not a city you want to lose in Boston.
There was an article that came out. There was this guy who was a random reporter in Brooklyn and New York that, like, basically he followed the Nets all last year, and like just basically got himself into Kevin Durant's like inner circle, and he said all this KD does is hoop and smoke weed. Like, yeah, he's just like, that's why, like, he just needs to like get away, and like he'll get into a car, and like he'll have his security outside, and they just let him fucking just zone
You know
out.
what I'm saying? Like,
And
but it's crazy. We come a long way.
I
Like,
know.
From people getting so much trouble and being incarcerated for
Bro.
marijuana, and then now this, and then people are profiting off of it now. The government's profiting off of it.
Not
crazy.
people, the government.
Yeah. Let me just be referring to the government, mainly because now they can make that money. It's like, now we can set it out, and then Can we hit Shikari?
Yeah, for sure. We
Yeah.
went to Shikari. Everyone, I mean,
She was dealing with a mental health situation. Her mom had
right
passed
before
away.
the Olympics. She was killing it. She had just won whatever competition she had before to qualify into the Olympics. And then the IOC, the Olympic, I guess, committee said nope. She tested. Sorry, not she tested positive for marijuana.
Yeah.
And like she was unable to participate in the Olympics this year for a bullshit reason. Right. And then you have other Olympic athletes then promoting like CBD, and that's crazy to me. And just like she didn't hurt anybody. Like weed does not change your performance. It's not a performance enhancing.
Right. No, but
and
I mean it does say
a rule. It's a rule.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
rule.
rule.
Rules a rule.
Right.
I'm there.
I mean,
I'm
just getting that clear.
Yeah, no,
for
yeah.
sure.
That's
Rule
why
is
I'm
a
just saying, like,
rule,
we're
but-
going back
No,
to
for
see
sure.
where we're coming to
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's about
sure.
to be this thing where we're
Yeah,
all.
for sure.
But it is still, I don't know, it's kind of BS because I just see it like regardless of what happened like leading up to Shikari smoking, like let's just say she was smoking recreationally.
Yeah.
That's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like people need to take the like the my body my choice thing into more than just in like the what's it called like the you know how it's like very much used like with abortion and surrounding the topic
Yeah.
of abortion. Like
Pro-life,
people can
pro-choice,
choose
right.
like they make their own decisions. People make their own decisions, and there are certain things out there that are not. And now I'm not trying to compare weed to abortion. I'm not
for
gonna
sure,
make
yeah.
like, but like she's a grown woman. She can make her own choices.
Facts.
However, standardized rules are standardized
is.
rules.
Yeah.
That's what it
And
is.
It's
And
tough.
the rules were in place before she
Right.
was racing.
Correct.
So if THC or CBD is on the banned substance list,
Exactly.
I agree with Paul. Like honestly, like I would rather her like be the outlier, the exception for her to like run because she would kill it. But the rules are the rules. If they make an exception for her, they're gonna have to do it for 100,000 people that test positive.
Do you guys think it's going to change now in the Olympics?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Eventually, yeah,
I
it will
absolutely
down the
think so.
line.
By the time we get there,
I don't know about the next Olympics.
that's what I'm
I
saying. By the
mean,
time we get to the next one, it should be.
it should by
Absolutely.
2024, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Because
if
mental
it's not,
health
but
is
mental-
getting really, really like the spotlight it needs
Yeah.
now in the 2020s. Like back in like early 2010s, it was like,
Yeah.
feel people here and there. But now the new decade,
Yeah.
I think it's really gonna get
Yeah.
heavy.
Do you think it will matter what country the Olympics is hosted in, whether or not it's allowed?
That's a good question.
Because
they
some
have one general like Olympic rule type of-
they do have Olympic rules, but there are countries out there that
Yeah.
pot's not legal.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's a
Wait
good
till
question. Yeah.
Wait till it's in LA. Everyone's
I
gonna
don't
be burning up in LA.
Yeah. We'll put it in Colorado,
Yeah.
playing Rocky Mountain High.
Yo, what? I know. But yeah, to answer that question, if it's overseas, yeah, that's a no-go.
Paris next time in 2024.
Paris?
So it might not
That's a
happen.
no-go.
Yeah, that's a no-go. That's what I was thinking.
Anything like in the States, I'd probably say yeah. They're probably
Yeah.
like, yo, whatever, light up. But yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
tough.
think the rules are loosening up. It's just crazy to think like players that came in like the mid 2000s, like they
Yeah.
fought the battle
for us.
these guys to
Shout out Al.
yeah, right, for them to run now, and then it's gonna. Who knows what's gonna happen down the line in the future? It's gonna
Wait,
be.
isn't that why Tyreek's not in the league?
I'm not. I don't. I have to. I'll do a double check.
I love
real
Tyreek
quick,
Evans
but-
too. They see it
Yeah,
like
keep
they
going.
just
I'm
knocking
gonna
off
check on that.
all
I'm
these
gonna-
players that I like because
Yeah.
they in their free time they used to smoke. Like, and the thing is like a lot of these players have like bad knees, bad joints, whatever. So that's how they heal up. It's like they roll up. You know what I'm saying? They get their whatever massages, exercise in and roll up. Medical reasons, and then from the David Stern era to now the Adam Silver era, everything's getting like tightened up where it was loose before. But I don't know, man. I just want to see stuff like evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Just
for
like
sure.
everything else we see, right? People took different hurts and punches for things to change, and now in 2021 things are changing.
For sure. Yeah, it doesn't say on the article I just found for Tyreek. It doesn't say like it says he violated the anti-drug program. It just doesn't say what drug it is.
Yeah.
But to go back to your point about like pain
Yeah.
and athletes, I would much rather have an athlete smoke than to use like Percocets or painkillers or things of that nature. They would, bro. It's
Yep.
candy. I
Yep.
got it. So in college for baseball, I had surgery on. I got Tommy John. I had
you
a
pitched?
full I had a full rotator cuff or a full shoulder reconstruction, and I got a hip replacement all in 3 months.
Yeah.
I had enough Percocet to fucking like start slinging it if I wanted to.
Same,
But
same, yeah.
and it's crazy that, like, per the NCAA, they would rather have me load up on all that shit
Oxys,
rather than just
yeah.
smoke. Mind you, again, I wasn't going to smoke.
Yeah,
like, I'm not going to.
yeah.
But there's plenty of other players out there who
Yeah.
they like smoking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude, every athlete likes, because every player likes, almost everybody likes to smoke. There's a very small percentage of people that cannot smoke pot for various medical reasons.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it has to ruin it for everybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just think that they do need to lighten up a little bit on, CBD, THC, and just, let people, you know what I'm saying, like, for different reasons, especially if you have, like, a doctor's note. Remember in school when you used to have the doctor's note and shit like that? Let them rock, man.
As long as it's not enhanced, man. If it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They're not cheating, not
you
taking
don't freaking
steroids or
become
something like that.
2 times faster than me in 2 days, and
Right.
or
See?
whatever it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like in most cases, like weed's gonna do the opposite for you. Like it's gonna chill you out. It's
telling
gonna
them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not gonna make you
Yeah.
the fastest man or fastest woman alive.
See, like, but you see though, it's like a what's the word? Like it's a it's an influencer. Like it'll. A lot of people say it slows down the movement, the brain power, and all that. That's why,
Bro.
I don't know. I know.
I've seen people piff and go play basketball.
I know, but I'm saying
I've seen people
in general,
piff and go play football.
that's what they
Whatever,
say.
it's all power.
I
of the
don't
mind.
agree with it.
It's
So
all
like-
at the end of the day. It's the mind. It's all.
Yeah.
But did you
Everybody
see
reacts differently.
For
Okay,
sure.
go ahead.
No, you're good. Did you ever see the Complex interview with all the football linemen?
No.
They were talking about like pot usage in the NFL, and a lot of, like, so many players will smoke before games just because, like, that's the only way they could play.
It calms your body, when it calms your body down.
Oh, football. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Bro, football players are literally killing themselves for no
Yo.
money. I know they're getting paid, like, the money they're getting is more than I'll probably see in my lifetime, but it's no money in terms of, like,
imagine.
sports as a whole.
Yeah.
And they are literally killing themselves.
Yeah.
Let them smoke.
Let them smoke.
Let him smoke.
Shout out Ricky Williams.
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
he was one of the first advocates. Good call on that. Calling out Ricky Williams on that. I
Oh.
didn't even think about him because he was one of, like, he retired. You're all good. You're all good. It's
all good.
It's all good. The YouTube fans, if we want to edit that one out. But yeah, Ricky Williams, like, he retired just like middle of his career, middle of his prime, just like
Right.
moved to the other side of the fucking
Yeah.
world. Smoked all the weed. Like, that's how he survived. Calvin Johnson too. I just saw a
that's
lot
how
of
he
his stuff. He
played.
said he had to smoke every week because I didn't watch the video, but like, yeah, he's getting killed. He's playing for the Lions too. Come on, so
Trash.
he's losing every week also. So you need something to really cope with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
wild.
I mean, the times. I mean, 2021. A lot has changed. A lot has evolved, and as we continue going through the decade and the years, I see a lot more rules are going to lighten up.
Yeah,
with that,
I mean,
too.
I hope so.
Yeah, these people
So,
are
I like
speaking
that.
up a lot. I think
Yeah.
that's what's happening. So
Yeah, both on the mental health side, on the legalizing marijuana side, and
social media is bittersweet. You know we are.
Yeah.
Social media is bittersweet.
Yeah, when are we gonna get that in your second hometown though? When are they gonna loosen it up in your second hometown,
Oh,
North Carolina?
I don't even know what's happening in North
Right,
Carolina.
yeah.
I don't know
Oh my
about
goodness,
them.
yeah, no one knows what's happening.
Virginia straight.
Yeah.
was like
My second home.
yeah, Virginia straight. with
DMV.
that. But
All right, guys. Yeah, well, let's get into more mental health in a whole. Sure. The way I want to start this off is just check in with again. I guess a second check in, but a quick one, and just like, how's everyone's mental health? You know, just quick answer on this part. On just like how you feeling.
1 to 10?
And, yeah, 1 to 10. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, just how you feeling inside. Like however you want to describe your way of feeling good. Just on a scale of 1 to 10. And we'll start with City. We'll go end with Jules.
today,
And, yeah, today
Is that a
at this
9?
moment 9.
a week
great.
ago,
No, right now, just right now.
I know I'm saying a week ago was at a 6.5,
Okay.
but today's at a 9.5.
Is it because you're around us today and you're around some?
Could be
some
that,
great,
yeah.
some great
That's
people?
definitely a part of it.
Okay.
And it's just that when it was at a 6.5, I knew how to like
Yeah.
restart my engine, and I did
Okay,
what I
that's
had
good.
to do.
So real quick, was it like what kind of? You don't have to get into your personal shit, but like what kind of things got
Nah,
you
we're here for mental health
feeling
talk.
off?
We're
Okay,
here
if
for
you want to
mental
get
health talk,
whatever you want to share.
I can filter. I know how to filter the right and the wrong.
For sure.
But I mean, I think it was at a 6.5 because the whole food truck stuff is happening, and it's all like when you're trying to do entrepreneurship, it's like stressful as fuck. But the whole point of me working with somebody from Illinois, Indiana, building my truck, it's a little bit like, you know, I sent him like 40K already. Like I got legitimate paperwork that I can chase and sue or whatever. But I'm saying, but it's just like the nerve wracking. And then that's step one. Step two, it's like the thought of me about to open a new business and like the what ifs and the what if not and the what not and da da da. And then 3, COVID is up and down, left and right, never know what's going on. And a few other personal stuff that I'm not gonna get into that's tapping in. Then when the John situation happened, that just hit me differently because it was just like I said, when I explained it on Wednesday, I had just like, he was just like,
isn't it crazy how like that, like, sorry to interrupt, like,
no,
life and death like really like put shit in perspective?
No, it did. Like it
just like,
even though he wasn't like blood or nothing, it was just like we took care of him for like 20 years basically. Wow. So when that happened, that was just like, and then everything else was just in the bundle all at once. Like I said, a few other things. It was just like, that's why Chicago was, when I went to Chicago, like I told my mom, like after I talked to her about John, like I spoke to her 2 days ago about John, she started to tear up. And I was like, I couldn't come downstairs because one of is 3-decker. I said, I couldn't come downstairs because that's where he slept. So like the whole moving around, like it just felt weird just going down there. So I was like, Ma, I just couldn't come down here. And then when the Chicago situation came and I had to go, I was like, I just had to leave like the whole area just for a little bit, being like everything else. And I just had to clear my mind. And everything I did in Chicago was just good. And I came back, different vibes.
Dope city.
Oh yeah, I would advise. Chicago is definitely it's a spot to go.
If you've never been, it's just like, especially like since it's the Midwest. This guy's laughing. If it's like the Midwest, it's the Midwest. So like you have a different kind of vibe out there too, because everyone's super friendly and there's a lot to do. It's a big city as well. So I wanted to bring in that.
No, it is.
But
yeah, after that, from there on, it was cool. It was cool.
That's good. I know he's laughing at me. Paul, what about you?
No, I'm taking a sip. That's what I'm taking one more.
Sip that right. But yeah, Paul.
Honest.
About to have time for intro. Jules is gonna have me laughing in a second, so I can't wait to put him on the spot.
Honestly, I don't know if I could put it on a 1 to 10. I feel a little bit too good right now, which for me is not a positive thing. I got diagnosed with bipolar a couple years ago. Okay. So and it's bipolar 2. There's 2 phases. There's hypomanic and then there's depressive. And when you start feeling too good, you start to question like, oh, am I feeling too good because I'm actually happy? Or am I feeling too good because something's off? And
that's deep. That's deep because I feel, because not to cut you too much, just keep that thought. Because growing up, because this is mental health, we're gonna get deep. Like in my life, the way how it's been structured, so many negative has happened. So when good starts to happen, I question it.
Yeah.
Like straight up, when I really pull back and I sit back and be like, oh, like just like this ain't right. Like straight up, like when things are going too well, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So
right.
Like, I feel what you're saying in that aspect.
Yeah. So for me, like I've kind of withdrawn from certain people in my life, and I know how to push myself and be appropriate. Like I'm out here, I'm having a good time. I'd say I'm on a downswing with it right now, coming back towards baseline, but it's tough to like figure out when you're good, because again with bipolar it's mostly it's cyclical. It's on a cycle of ups and downs, and you know it's fine now. I'm medicated. I don't stray too far from baseline. Rather than being like crazy gaps, it's tight knit, and I know how to handle it. But when you come from like, you know, just not feeling great, and then you pop into the, oh, I'm feeling good, you want to ride the wave. Like you want to stay out like with your friends 6 nights a week. You know, you might have 1 too many drinks. I'm not talking getting like blackout drunk, but instead of having your last drink at 11, you're having it at 1, and then I'm staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning. I've been like binge watching like online gambling. I fucking love. I love watching people gamble online. Which again, like, if I was that bad, I'd be out there doing something stupid like that, so I could recognize, and not make poor choices. I can make self-destructive decisions that are safe. And I talk all the time. This man loves to invest. He's always looking for the next like project to get involved in, and I do too. So my toxic trait through bipolar now, I invest my money. I take everything from my savings and I dump it into investments. Not stupid investments, like just regular old boring index funds that return 8% per year. And just that's how I get out and do my retail therapy instead of buying shoes and jeans and like drinks and shit like that. So I get the money away from me, so that way it works for me in the future. But again, it's like a little bit crazy, like the way to no, I'm just saying the way I get there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The bipolar diagnosis isn't alone. It comes with OCD. I've known I've had OCD for a while, much longer than the bipolar. And I feel like OCD is something that's very misunderstood by the world. Most people think of it as like fixing. I'm going to fix everything like that. Right. There's many different types of OCD. That sure is one of them. But like the shitty kind is when you start having like intrusive thoughts or like make believe thoughts. Like you don't know, like for most, everybody has terrible thoughts, right? But most people let them pass. When you have OCD, they linger. And then you perseverate on them for like weeks on end. And that can happen with something minor. It can happen with something big. Pair it with bipolar, especially like a little bit of mania or hypomania, as we'll call it. And it can get into a tricky situation. So I think I'm on an upturn now, or a downturn, I should say. But it's for the best.
Yeah. That's good. What's your scoop? How you looking?
I mean, a lot of the stuff you just shared, Paul, is.
I saw you. Yeah, you shaking your head.
Yeah, I'm like, I could definitely relate to that. I mean, on the scale, we can start for me. Like on a scale for 1 to 10, put myself at a 5 or 6 right now. You guys are definitely bringing up my spirits though. Today, sitting right here, but yeah, man, just going through a lot of shit. For me, I mean, I was like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like I deal with been years, probably since I was 27. So going on 5-6 years now that I've dealt with like on and off like like really bad depression. I was diagnosed like with depression when I was 27 for the first time, and yeah, man, it's tough. And I just have my ups and downs all the time. And I'm actually about to get back on medication, but currently not on medication right now. But again, I've taken depression meds on and off since 27. So yeah,
That's good.
What's that, 5 years? I don't even know, 4 years now. But yeah, I mean, shit's tough. Go to therapy. Always try to keep that going. And in terms of where I'm at right now, just like a lot of changes have happened in my life since this summer. That it's just like, it's like, whoa, it's like I came into this summer in a different light, in a different mindset, and I came into September and October in a completely different world, which is all brand new to me. So I'm just adjusting. I'll say what I'll say. It'll come out the more when I
No, you don't have to do that.
But I'm playing with you.
No.
But just in terms of just like, yeah, I mean, I've always like, I even just think back to what you said was a big thing. Is like when I feel good, I'm just like, okay, shit. Like, how long is this gonna last? Like, what's gonna happen where it's gonna drop me down to like where I'm gonna, just be in a bad, shitty place again, which is like the worst thing to do. So like when I'm in a good place, I mean, I don't enjoy it. But just in terms of right now, it's just struggling to find out like where I'm gonna end up in my career. That's what keeps me up at night, and just having enough money to support myself to like help my mom, my sister, whenever they need it. Like it always hurts me that like I'm not able to help them as much as I would like to. So like that's like shit that eats at me. So I'm always trying to be productive. That's my thing. If I'm chilling or just like relaxing, like I'm just like, no, I'm being lazy right now. Like I'm my hardest critic. Like no one, I always say like there's nothing that anyone could say to me that like I haven't already said to myself. And like that's why I always have to be doing something. My brain always has to be working. Like no matter if I'm reading something or if I'm starting to do good, if I'm setting shit up for this, like if I'm promoting it or just like even just like talking to our editor, like sometimes like that, like doing shit like that, it's like, okay, you're being productive, and like my mind will be at ease. If I'm not doing anything, I'll think I'm like the fucking worst person in the world. Like I'm not amounting to anything in life, and like I say, like I'm my own like worst critic, and I mean that's what's gotten me through life, and it's tough, but you got to be able to cope with it the best you can. I think I do the right things. Like I very happy with like my support system, you guys, and like I go to therapy, like I take the steps. I was talking to my therapist today, and she was just like, yeah, Chopay, like you do the right things, and like to cope with it. Like just calling me today, she's like, anytime you just need to call, just you have the phone number. Like I call, leave a message, she'll call me within the next hour or two, and then I can just. I mean, I'm very lucky to always have had that kind of support system, and it's just I always feel like it's something I'm going to deal with. It doesn't matter the way I look at it. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter where life takes you. It's just it is what it is. And like that, I've learned that since, like I said, in my late 20s, and it's something that I'm gonna navigate through.
Yeah.
And just joking with you guys all the time in the group chat, like that's something that keeps my.
But yeah,
spirits
I mean
up.
the group chat though,
like,
we do express some of our.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do express like our
deep
feelings in times too.
It's really
but
therapeutic for me. Yeah.
yeah, it's very therapeutic, and like that's what I love. Like that, I use joking and I use sense of humor as a way to navigate.
But you also provide advice.
Yeah.
I love that you accepted that.
Yeah, I accepted it. You got
to piggyback off where originate our whole thing from, like coming out of African race, like the African culture, even like especially our dads and them, they don't believe in therapy and all
I was just
that
gonna
stuff.
say that.
You know what I'm
even
saying?
though my dad's
So
a therapist, I don't think
love
he believes in it as much.
right,
as it,
like I don't want to talk to nobody. Like so, it's like I love the fact that you're, you know what I'm saying, you're embracing that at this age.
It took a while, but yeah,
get there because from where our roots are from, they don't
sure.
embrace that. But not to cut you off.
No,
go
yeah,
ahead.
for sure, yeah. And just to wrap it up before I let Jules go, I put him on the spot. Yeah, like I said, like just a lot of things in life is changing, and it's just for me to accept those changes if I want to, and just go with it, and just one day at a time. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 second, one day at a time. So
Yeah.
Are you liking these changes? Are these
for sure, I am liking the changes. So
Can I ask you a quick question for you?
sure, yeah.
So when you were saying like you really like to work hard, and I think you alluded to it. So, but do you think that you struggle like taking time away from things and just like
Absolutely.
being on a break?
Absolutely, because I'm like, and like hate to always compare it. I'm like, well, whoever this person is that is like at the top of their profession, like, did that person ever take a break? That's what goes through my mind. I'm like, this person didn't take a break. This person got here. I'm not like, that's just what, that's just how my brain functions. And like, I know it's like not always like good, but that's just how I am. I don't know if that
shit works for me?
And I'm around a lot of like people that like have done very well, and whatever it is, whatever the profession is, whatever. But so yeah, that's where I'm just like, damn, I need to put in the work too. But yeah, that's just me. That's just me being like tough on myself.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think that's like and sorry to go down this rabbit hole before getting huge, but I think that's like a common thing for a lot of people to not like be okay. And it's not like taking a break doesn't necessarily mean like you're not doing something. Like taking a break is a huge opportunity to work on yourself. And sometimes like when a lot of shit's going on, I feel if there's a lot of noise going on in my head, it's really hard to sit with that. And I can soften the noise by like getting invested in a bunch of different projects and like going and going and going. So like I definitely feel for you in that regard.
No, I definitely relate to that because I feel the same thing. Like when I feel myself slacking, like I be telling you I gotta keep busy because I'm saying because whenever I'm not, I feel like I always tell myself like I'm not where I want to be. Why am I sleeping so late? Why am I like literally like he's like that goes through my head so much. Like sometimes I smoke enough. I smoke more just because it helps that slow down. It'd be like, damn, Ant, you're doing good. Like, relax, bro. Like, chill out. And then when I talk to people, and then we used to be talking, I'm telling what I'm doing and where I'm at. They'd be like, damn. But for me, I'm nowhere where I want to be. Like, you could hear everything I want to do right now. I don't think I'm at where I want to be. Like, period. So, like, I be like, literally.
You're crazy, man, when it comes to hours. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. You have one of the best work ethics I've seen.
Like, if I, just straight, it just, like, a shutdown goes in my head, and then I'd be up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. The gym is my thing. I know I'm on my shit when I'm able to go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning and do it. And I'm like, I'm going because 5 o'clock to 6:30, I'm done with the gym, shower, get ready for work. And I feel like, boom, if it's happening like this, then yeah, and you're doing something. But when I'm not, I'm so uneasy on the inside. Like it just feels. But what you guys both said, though, you have to find that lane where you can pull yourself away and stop being hard on yourself for a little bit. Because I've caught myself doing that and Like that's how comes I end up losing weight because I like end up seeing myself just not like just thinking too much and stop eating. Like I'll eat 1 or 2 times a day just because I'm get lost in my thinking
That's where
and
I am
everything.
right now.
And I mean, I would I really catch myself like, damn, did you eat today? Like I would ask myself, did you eat today? And I really have not had a healthy meal just because I'm here and I'm just there.
Yeah. I've been there
So
for a
when you
while.
guys are talking, I'm like listening. I'm like, yeah, but I do a good job of pulling myself out though. Like I know when to do that, and that's the good part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Julian, I'll let you.
Yeah, I don't want to get too personal with
Yeah,
mine.
for sure. Scale 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Give us that.
Yeah, we just want to see how
Probably like a 7.
Okay.
But like there's a lot of stuff I do want to talk about, but I'm not comfortable with. But I don't know. Like mental health to me is like, I don't know. Growing up around predominantly like West African like people, growing up in a West African household, it wasn't like Shope said, like parents. It was like mental health, like you're stressed or you're depressed or you feel pressured. Like what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like no, get them A's, get them B's, or whatever. And it's like
Oh, it's about to go deep right here with this.
yeah,
whole African
like
house
yeah.
thing,
I'm not gonna go too long.
No, I'm saying we will
Yeah.
though, because like not too personal, but I can feel
Like,
it. It's like right.
It was tough growing up because there was like, for me, there was nobody to really talk to like as a young kid, because obviously I was an only child, so there was really nobody else to talk to if I felt like pressured or like or I felt any type of way. I could go to my dad, but he'd look at me crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like he would be there for me, but he'd be like, yo, what's good with him, and talk to my mom or whatever. And like some of my friends I grew up with, I point to City because I grew up with him. But like sometimes in City, I'm not gonna blame you, City, but sometimes like we would like there would be stuff going on, right? And if me, him, and like our childhood friends would go out to play basketball, and if I wasn't like performing right, like if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do on the court, they'd be like, "Yo, like what the fuck?"
Yeah, you
But there's
trash,
something
like
but there's something like going on, like either with a girl, like my academics, or like just
At
stuff at
home.
home. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't go to my friends who were like, they'd be like, "Yo, what do you mean you're," you know what I'm saying? So it's tough. But I think it's more of like a community, like a black community type of thing, like where mental health is like, it's really like looked down upon. You know what I'm saying?
That's being soft kind of when you are being
That's why
vulnerable.
like at 14, 13, 12, I was like, nah, I can't go to them about. They're not gonna understand.
Yep. That's relatable.
Yeah, but let me see what else I feel comfortable sharing. Oh yeah, nobody talked about women, so yeah, let's talk about women. So, like, I don't know, cause sometimes like with the women I've dealt with, I'm not gonna say dealing with, the women I have dealt with in the past, sometimes you can't go to your friends about them either, because the dudes I grew up with is just more of like, yo, hit him and quit him. You know what I'm saying?
Jules, you never came to me to chop it up.
I was saying, I'm
Who
sharing a
growing
little
up?
bit. I have a
Yeah,
lot, but I'm just sharing like an incy-wincy bit of this stuff. Yeah,
Jules
but
came to me.
it's
That was
like,
always that
oh
friend.
no, yeah,
Later
yeah,
on in
for
life,
sure. That's what I'm
obviously.
saying. But I'm talking about like
Yeah,
13,
early,
14,
yeah,
15,
early,
16.
Early
Teens,
early.
adolescence is like, you can't really go to your friends because at that age, they're telling me like, bro, just hit him, like don't cuff him, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for real, you know what I'm saying? No, seriously, I'm being serious though. It's like,
catch your feelings.
it's like, yeah, but you kind of like, I don't know, you kind of caught in between this and that, because
like her.
you that's what I'm saying. By that age, you don't really know love. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know a healthy love.
Right.
So you get yourself involved with different types of women, and they're really not good for you. But you don't know that because again, you're young, and then you can't go to your friends because they don't know, they themselves don't even know what love is, but they're trying to teach you. So I don't know. There's a lot more I'm not comfortable sharing, but I feel like mental health. I feel like therapy is something that I do need. I have spoke to people about it, about going. It's just about me getting my ass up and finding a therapist, whether it's like a male, a female, or like, do I want a black therapist or I want a white therapist, all that stuff. So, but I do recommend therapy. I know people that personally go and attend. I've been in a relationship with a woman who went to therapy. Said it worked great for her. So that's something I got to look into doing and actually getting up and doing the groundwork and research. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm comfortable with sharing right now.
I mean, therapy, if you want to go to therapy, this is I'm sure everybody's heard this before. Like, honestly, therapy only works if you want it to, and if you're willing to. Like, I'm not in a place where I want to go to therapy. I don't feel like I need it. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to find a new therapist. It's annoying finding a therapist. And these are a lot of things. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, these are a lot of the reasons why people don't go. Now, if you want to go, you'll push through that and find it. And it is worth it to push through and find it if you think that therapy is an avenue that you want to go down. Like, if ever there's anything in life that you want to do, it's not going to be easy. Like, you're going to have to push through and persevere to get to where you want to go. And being happy is not easy. Like, there's people who make it look like they're happy through their social media, the way they present themselves. Maybe they're just not as comfortable because, honestly, it is a masculinity thing at the end of the day. Like, y'all are all a little bit older than me. I think that it might be slightly different for my generation, but I still have a blend between, like, the older view and the newer view, and it's more of the older view. And, like, you couldn't share your feelings. Like, when I was growing up, my household, I'm not gonna say I grew up in, like, the worst household in America or anything like that, but it was not an easy upbringing. I had a parent who had to deal with some pretty serious shit, and the other parent just was not there for me. I love them both very dearly now, and to this day we have worked through that, and it's amazing to see what hard work can get you to. But, like, what my father would tell me is, like, hey man, like, you got to be a man, you just got to get through it. Like, you just got to push through it. And I think that's the way a lot of people our age grew up, and they associate that with, like, just not working hard on their own, mental health at the end of the day. They don't want to admit that maybe they're depressed. They don't want to admit that they have anxiety, because I think, most people have some sort of depression or anxiety. It doesn't need to be always treated with medication, but people go through things in periods of their life, and they got to put in the work. And if they don't, they're just going to waste their own time. Because you're on a clock, and at some point, like we're gonna run out.
You brought up something too. I forgot what you said. Because I've just been thinking, my mind's racing. But
was it the masculinity thing?
Yeah, it's masculinity. Yo, I just remember how I got my my license to carry, right? Because
you have a license to carry?
See, this is stuff I don't even share with my dog.
I knew this.
Oh, you knew this?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, okay,
yeah.
So I share. Okay.
I don't even like guns anyway.
So
okay.
no, but I got it.
I can't have one. I'm bipolar.
The reason why. The reason why I got it though is because, like, our city's crazy. So especially in the neighborhood my parents live in, you know that the main South area is like there's needles on the ground when you go outside and stuff like that. And I just remember, like, some of the house parties you and I used to go to. You had to have your head on a swivel because you don't know what's going on. Nah, like, it's real. Like, from where like, Worcester's crazy. Like, there's people dying every day.
Back in the day though, Worcester gotten better.
I think it's gotten worse.
My mom went to college out in Worcester, and she lived in not a great area, and she said it was not.
When we was growing up, Worcester,
I think it's worse now, bro.
No.
That's just my opinion. That's why I got a license to carry.
Really?
Yo, I
think
had to get
better
one.
because we was. I was part of the Worcester being.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
So we knew, like, from 2000 up to 2000.
You're good now, right? Before you.
Yeah. So in 2009.
Is it past whatever the statute of limitations is?
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
2009. That's when we really
bad.
left. Now, we really left Worcester.
College,
fully.
yeah.
I mean, we did, but wasn't that? But we really left. But it's gotten better over then.
Really?
I think so.
I mean, I had to get one because the neighborhood's crazy. I mean, but anyway, so my point was saying with the mental health is just like I don't know. There was a certain point in time where I felt like I had to watch my back, like, wherever I went. Like, I remember I used to go to, like, house parties, and I used to just, like, have my head on a swivel because I don't know, whatever. My area is crazy, so I think it's just like, for me, I feel like I do have, like, paranoia sometimes too. I don't even know. Oh. And then how can I forget? There was an incident, obviously, that you laugh about that happened a few years ago.
Oh, do you want to bring?
No, we don't bring that up.
Okay.
But also that too. So, like, like, if dudes in your own city trying to jump you and stuff like that too. So it, like, that's all mental health stuff because, like, that's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Like, an attempt to for my life, really. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I just be like, yo, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna just double off of something else you said. Like, everything you want in life is hard. Like, and like that brings shout out Monty Williams, the coach. I brought this up last episode. The saying now I always keep in my head is everything you want in life and everything you want is on the other side of hard. Yeah, like whatever it is. I think maybe like an episode or two ago I said that.
I think it's the last.
Was the last episode? And I was like, when I first heard that, I think it was like Chris Paul said it in an interview or something like that. And I was like, that stuck with me. I was like, wow, literally everything that you want to achieve is on the other side of hard. Like, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the time and the effort.
Monty Williams has
too, but yeah, you brought up a big point. I mean, not a big point, but like you brought up a point earlier on just harping on relationships and like how that's also brought. Actually, for me, the first time I ever seriously dealt with depression was because of a relationship. That was the first time where like I was diagnosed with it, where it was just like, you're depressed because this. I'm not gonna go into the details, but like it's because like this and this happened. I didn't even recognize it. I remember my boy, I was talking to him about it. He's like, yo, I think you're depressed. This was like, again, I brought this up when I was 27, and I was like, wow. And then I started to realize, I was like, wow, every time I get these shitty feelings, it's because of something that was out of my control, something that I don't like blaming other people, but in terms of relationship, someone else was there, like, they had to deal with someone else. So it's like, that's when I started to think, I was like, shit, like, if I become more closed off, I can't allow anyone else to affect my mood, or just don't ever like allow like someone else to make you feel away. Like, if I'm gonna feel any way, I want it to be because I caused it. And like that's not always the best way to think or like the best way to move, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do in that aspect. Yeah. But I mean, it's all like in that. It's under that umbrella.
Your significant other will bring you out of character if you allow them to.
For sure.
That's a fact.
That's a big fact.
I remember there was times where I'd fight with my ex, and I remember I couldn't even go to bed sometimes because like the person you used to go to bed with, next to you is not there, and then you don't even realize how like your mind is just like, because you're just racing like, oh, what's this person doing that she's not here with me right now, like,
or what could I have done differently to avert this situation.
And it's just like it's so crazy how relationships are, like, especially how they affect your mental health, and like they could really distract you from your daily grind of what you have to do. It just don't function the same. It's crazy.
You get out of bed sometimes.
But time is really the best like medicine. I've really noticed that.
Time heals all wounds, man.
It does. Like I never until you really go through something, like you never really understand how time just. Like each day that goes by, or each week, or each month is like, oh yeah, like you think less and less of the situation of that person, until eventually to a point where like, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I don't care if somebody is treating them better than I did. Like I never personally thought the person who I was in love with. Yeah, I never thought that. I'm like.
Yeah, and you also get to
man is touching her. Hell no.
And then you get to the point where
you're that thought would drive you crazy.
Yeah, but you get to the point where you're happy as long as they're happy. You get to that point where you're just like
that.
Bro, I would be in bed like, yo, this. Nah, bro. I'm about to put on clothes right now. Like, nah, I'm going out. Like, I'm
take your license to carry and go.
Yes, yeah. Like, get in my car. Get in my car, be like, nah. But like, obviously, I'm not doing that. But like, I would think, like, yo, what was she doing? Like, yo, it's so crazy.
That shit will drive you crazy.
Whenever I have gotten to that place, I knew it wasn't good. I think I got there once, and it didn't happen again. Like, I made sure I addressed it and it was done. Bro, you should never like. I know. Like you said, don't never. You always used to say that. Don't let nobody mess with my mental health. I'm like that one thing. Like when you start to get here, because I feel like if you're not healthy here as a person and it doesn't make sense here, you're not coping in the real world. It's gonna be like if you cannot get it right here. You know what I'm saying?
So like, true. So true.
Like you're not getting in its head. You know the fucking not.
No, you're not. You can't.
I think. Go for it.
Oh, I was just quickly. I was gonna say to the point where that I'm like currently learning. If you don't want people to get here, you can't take things too personal. Like you can't take things too personal. Like you have to be able to let things roll. If someone like says something that like fucks you up, or like you don't know what's going on with them, you don't know what made them say some crazy shit to you. Just let that shit roll out. And like that took me a long. Like I'm still trying to really learn that now. Like I feel like I'm getting better, but yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah.
But I think two things I'd like to address is one, like if you're saying like I'm not gonna let someone in and get me, I feel like that's a very closed off way. Like for me, like when I think about it, it's like I'm guarding myself. I'd rather just look. Everybody's gonna go through ups and downs. I don't care if you have a diagnosis or not.
Yep.
You're going to just accept the fact that at some point you're gonna be happy, and at some point you're not, and most of the time you're gonna be somewhere in between.
Yep.
And when we're talking about like time heals all, that's 100% the case. But time and work heals quicker.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can settle when we say like, oh, I just need time, you know, because when I've been down, like when I've been down bad, like, my first relationship after she and I had split up, it was very difficult to move on. And I thought I was, because I was just taking my time. And that's all I was doing. I was literally taking my time. Yeah. I was not having fun. I was not doing anything. I wasn't miserable, but I wasn't doing, you know, what I could have been doing and living my life in an enjoyable way. And I don't know. I just don't like waiting around for shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
like,
I hear you. You know, and you know, a lot of times, like, you know, after I broke up with my ex, like I would use, this is personal, but I would use like sex as like a like to get over
Coping mechanism
to get over, like, you know, but it still didn't even make me feel like, you know, like I would still think about that person though. Even
so like you would just like, is it numerous? Sorry, I know you said you don't want to get personal, but I just want to
go ahead.
Draw more of a picture to it. Is it just like navigating through different people? Is it one person?
Navigating through different women.
Okay,
and then you know you'd have sex, be like, all right, yeah, like
yeah.
After like, this is just for an example, like the fifth body, you just be like, oh yeah, like I'm way up. No, you're not. Like, nah, Julie, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you still think about like, damn, you know. So yeah, even like, you know, I would use sex as an outlet, and it still didn't even heal that. So it's like, nah, time for me was like the best thing. Time for me was like the best thing.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
What I did from the relationship that I've spoken about, if you watch the pod, you know I'm getting at the relationship, very.
What was that, episode 6? I just said a random episode.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, anyway. But the one I talk about, the like I don't do relationships too much, but the one ex that I speak about that it went south, it didn't go well. I think after that, from hearing what you guys are talking, I was just thinking, I think what I did was I shut every girl out to my heart.
So you did the opposite of him completely, or?
Like, yeah, I wasn't going out there to say F you, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't just like, no matter what you did, you weren't getting here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've been there.
Like from 2012 to...
That's a minute, damn.
15, 16, 17, 18. I probably say been 2 years now before I started allowing any girl to make any effect on my heart.
Wow. So
like,
you really have
literally
that,
like yeah. And that's the thing is, for me, when it comes to relationships, when I fully say I'm with you,
you had a muzzle on your heart.
I make myself vulnerable. To you, and I feel like when I put myself in all that vulnerable stage as a man,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and then it goes a certain way that becomes. Yeah, that's breakups is cool, but this when it becomes a betrayal breakup type of shit that makes things like sticky. You just look at human being a different way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for me, what I'm talking about, it was like I said, one of my top 5 friends at the time had messed with my girl at the time of 4 years. I know the story now. Yeah. Right. So, but the way how it happened, it just felt like it was sex and cheating, but then it was like it was just a betrayal mechanism that just pulled me away from like the human. You know what I'm saying? Just like because before he had did that, it was like he was going through shit and everything he needed was me for like almost a year straight, and I wish we got close. Right. So when that happened, it was just like, wasn't like I said, it was just the sex or whatever. It was just like, really, bro? You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
your view on men and women at that point, you're like, oh no, you can't
like
trust nobody.
Like exactly, like even men or women, like even being open up to a new male friend, like a real male friend. I wasn't even like my boy Bass know that like I was really like I used to host events. I used to host events and stuff, but you my acquaintances, like there's nothing you could do that was like that was just me for a minute. Like nobody got close to what it was.
Right.
And then it happened again when it came recently with the situation I was just telling y'all about.
Yep.
The most recent situation that I told y'all about. And I'm just like, whoa. Like when I actually let another male friend to be cool again, I looked at him as a little brother. And then that situation happened. Yeah. It was just like, wow, bro.
I know.
So it was just like, no, but from hearing that, I think how I coped with that, I started to like revamp and be like, damn, man. At some point, you're gonna like, you know what I'm saying? You got to like.
It's crazy how these negative things that happen to us kind of like keep like a lasting impression and like really change our views moving forward. I mean, I guess that's obviously normal.
Like it's good and bad.
But it's good and bad, yeah. Because like when I had a negative experience when I was in DC, I remember I moved back here and I was like, yo, just fuck everyone. I'm just gonna just do my own thing and like I don't give a shit about anyone's feelings and I'm just gonna and like that was my mindset for like a long time until I got to a point where I was just like, this isn't good, you know. Yeah. Shit happens. Like you live and you learn.
I kind of like the fuck you mentality sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like I like getting into it. Sure. I lack empathy, a lot of it. I really don't give a fuck about a lot of things. Like I understand things are sad, but I have a hard time processing. Like if a friend of mine's grandfather passes away, like I understand that that's sad, and I understand like I should like, and I'm not gonna be like, yo, fuck you, but like it helps me create a barrier, which again, like when we're talking about barriers going back to mental health, like it's not great, and I understand that about myself, and it's definitely not good to bottle things up, but I think it's okay to do so a little bit in healthy doses.
For sure.
Because not everything needs to be so cut and dry.
For sure.
Like if somebody fucks with your like heart, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the best phrase I ever heard about like adults from an adult was that it gets it gets easy once you realize nobody has like any idea what they're doing. Like everybody's in the same spot. Like
I've heard
like everybody's like trying to figure it out, and like you're never gonna figure it out, but you might get a bit in peace, and somebody else has a bit in peace, and then you collaborate and you figure out a little bit more about yourself, and then you grow. And it doesn't matter if you get there when you're 50 or when you're 70. Like you're never gonna fully get there. Like you'll find it once you pass away, if that's what you believe in.
Real talk.
That's real talk for real.
Yeah, that's raw.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot more to say, but like,
say it, man. Say it.
Nah, it's personal. It's personal, but I mean, I just feel as though like
you could say I said some personal things. I haven't put it all out there, but like
I come at scoop a lot. This is coming to you and stop.
Right.
you
don't have to put all your bits out there, but you could sugarcoat it.
Gail
here
King
and there.
trying to get you in Worcester.
I'm not gonna press him. He has a license
Gail
to carry.
King, chill. But look.
Yes.
Look.
He said we shouldn't press him. He got a license to carry. He got that jacket.
Nah, but like relationships are just like.
I feel like the relationships are killing you.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
you want.
most of his mental situation.
all your
No. I'm just saying. From
who
what
are these
I've
women
seen,
that's fucked with Jules? We're coming for you.
Can I finish? I'm just saying relationships in general. I just see like, you know, I just see like how it's taking a toll on everybody. Like I don't know. I just be seeing that stuff, like stuff y'all be sending me, stuff my people be sending me, like, you know,
The stuff you be sending me.
I just seen like Adele, right?
Wait, the stuff that you be sending me.
No, you sent them to me too. I never said I didn't.
No, because you said. Just keep going.
Oh, okay.
This is what happens in the group chat.
Yeah, true. But now, like Adele, right? She had said something about how she was married to her ex-husband, but she wasn't happy. Right. And I was just thinking, like, and you know, I'm sitting there as somebody who's never been married. I'm sitting there like, why would you be involved in a marriage that you're not happy with? But again, it's like it's different for everybody.
It's deeper. It's deeper than that.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy though. It's crazy.
You won't understand unless you're in it. And then you're gonna have your own shit.
Right. But why prolong? Like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why would you prolong something?
So can I ask you? This might be personal. Do you feel like you prolonged your last relationship longer than it needed to be?
Oh, absolutely.
So there you go.
No. But listen. But I'm saying though, they were married for years.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the longest relationship I've had is like a year and a half.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
what I'm saying. But if you're in a relationship where you just there just to like, I don't know, like if it's like financial security, if it's like spousal security,
deep as marriage.
Yeah, you feel me?
It's like a long strive to
It's a
get
lo-
there. You should have known something
because you're
else.
exchanging vows under God. You know, like hey, I'm gonna be here for better, for worse. You know, and poor and sick. You know what I'm saying? So I look at vows like that. And I'm just be like, what do you mean? Like yeah, I understand like the honeymoon phase. I always bring it up on the podcast, like the honeymoon phase. After the first like 6 months, 9 months, yeah, then you know the loss of interest and all that. But it's just like no, go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, when y'all get into relationships, do you like how does it? Not like how does it? Not like how does it work? But like
I think
but
I
like,
have fair.
are you
I think I can answer
when
this
you
one.
approach like when you're going out with somebody, like are you looking at them like I'm doing this because I'm looking to get married to this individual once you start dating,
I've done
not
both.
once you start.
I've done both.
Because I feel like it's pointless.
Yeah.
This is my opinion,
I think I'm gonna agree
and
with this.
I think it's pointless to get into a relationship just to fuck around when two people are like, we know we're gonna break up. Like
done
plenty
both.
of people do it in college. They're like, they know they're gonna move away after 4 years, and then like they know like it's better to just break up than go long distance, either from a different country or from across the United States, and like just break it off. I just don't get that.
Yeah, no, I've done both.
Yeah.
I've dated to be like, all right, this is the person who like I could see as like the mother of my child, and I've dated women just to be like, damn, like that body's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've done both. And yeah, no, you're 100% correct. It's just like, and you know what's funny? Like I know what I'm doing when I'm doing that. Like I know like I'm just here just to smash.
Okay.
But it's funny like, and then but I'll be like, you know, no, I'm being real. And it's just like, and it's funny when stuff goes awry, I'm trying to put the blame on the woman or this person. That like, nah, bro, like you got yourself into that situation.
You gotta
like,
take accountability.
You gotta take accountability. So it's just one of the things. Like as a 32-year-old, I just gotta grow from. I'm not saying I'm doing that now, but I still don't know myself. So I'm still.
We all still learning every day.
Yeah.
Do you ever really know yourself at the end of the day?
Me personally, I don't think I'll ever really know myself, honestly.
Yeah, anyone that would answer that question as I kind
don't.
of look at them a little sideways.
And I know a lot of people say like, yeah, like you know,
teachers their own.
I've been in therapy for like 3 years, and I know I honestly.
You said know yourself, though. What do you guys mean? Like, what
Is it
Like-
self-awareness or like you know
For
every?
me,
know
when I
yourself.
say somebody knows themselves, like what they want out of life, what they want out of their spouse, like those two things
Oh,
majorly.
that's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, that's
Talk
what.
about mental health. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's what I feel like when someone said they know themselves, like, and you know, a lot of people tell me, yeah, like I'm in my 40s or I'm in my 30s now, I know myself. I'd be like, nah, I don't think you do. But that's how I feel when someone says they know themselves, what they want out of life and what they want out of their spouse. That's what I feel. Yeah.
I was just thinking like self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like that's definitely different from knowing yourself.
Right.
Like being self-aware is probably more like understanding how you are and how you come off and your role in like whatever it is you're doing at work. You know, how you are in like a friend group or things of that nature. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't say like I know myself, but I think I'm fairly self-aware. Like I'm always trying to look at what I'm doing and how it relates to the situation that I'm in, and try to adapt accordingly. Yeah. But that's, I wouldn't consider that knowing myself though.
Got you.
Better than me when I was your age, because like none of those thoughts even crossed my mind when I was.
Dude, it's a it's a blessing and a curse,
For sure, yeah.
honestly. Like it's the OCD at the end of the day. Like those constant intrusive thoughts, like even as we're sitting here, like, and I'm making statements, like I'll sit back as someone else is responding. I'm listening, but I'm also thinking like, how is this going to be perceived by them? How is this going to be perceived by the listener? How is this going to be perceived by my friends who are going to watch this? Because, like, you know, there's people that Ant and I work with who watch this. And is that going to change their judgment on me? Is that going to go? And I could continue down this rabbit hole, or I could just, like, stop it here and just, like, just say, like, you know, fuck it. But, yeah, I mean, it's like I'm always trying to read the room and not, you know, push it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely pushed it as like a kid. I was like a little dumbass in school and always doing whatever it took to get people's attention, and like that's just not appropriate. And,
Yeah, you seen a lot of those when we was in high school.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, a lot of dudes doing that. When you're young, you didn't think nothing of it, but like,
yeah.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like they're always doing something to catch
then, like,
attention.
you
But then
think-
now we're going older, when you're hearing other people talk about that, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So Carter was that kid.
Yeah.
We just didn't know because we was young.
Yeah, man, it's It's
Nah,
high
this is
respect.
good. This is good. You know, it's deep though. This whole mental health thing is deep. Like, it's a lot. Like, especially when we're talking about, like, back to being like the African household.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the only love I feel like I saw was the love of knowing that my parents are providing food and there's gonna be light on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that love of like, bye mom, I love you.
Affection.
Like that affection.
Because
like,
it's something you say, like it's just part of like the script. Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm just saying I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. I just heard.
I don't know, but
Oh, I thought you were saying the
I-
only time it happened was when you
Right.
left. You'd be like,
I-
"Oh,
Oh,
I love
no,
you,
no,
I
I'm
love
in
you."
the same boat as him in that
No, like,
aspect.
yeah, like we
Was
never,
the word love said in your household?
Nah, not mine.
like yeah.
Like, did your dad say it?
My
too?
dad would only say it when I was younger. He would only say it like after he was mad at me. or
Yeah, I don't
something.
say it to my dad.
No, but
Yeah,
like,
no, no.
for when I was a kid, like after, like if he was like mad at me and like it did something, like I go to my room crying or something, he would come in a couple hours later.
Yeah.
You know, me and your mom love you, like all this shit. Like, and then I would like feel happy, like, oh, I get loved, what? And then I was like, okay, and then like it's moving on. But like that was really the only time for my dad. I mean, I would say, like when he would like actually use that word. My mom every now and then, like she would. I think she doesn't say it as much to me. I would say she says it a lot more to my sister than to me because they were just always much closer. Even though, even though I shouldn't say this on camera, but even though like my mom and my parents more as a whole like babied me more, but like in terms of like closeness and just like having those heart to hearts, like
Yeah.
they had that more with my sister compared to me, where it was just more like they would say that they love each other, but like it really wasn't my vibe, I would say. So I think as I got older, like my mom kind of like saw that. It's like she would say it sometimes, like after we've had like a long like heart to heart talk on the phone, she would just be like, "I love you." It was like before, but like besides that, my grandmother always said it, would say it every fucking day. But in terms of like my parents, I didn't really see it much other than going back to seeing your parents' affection, my parents, and I think that's just more of a West African thing as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I don't want to generalize.
Yeah.
Like a whole
But most
fucking country,
households, I think
continent.
it's safe to say that.
But like, yeah, so like I didn't see that a lot. But in terms of that, like, I mean, here or there, like, because I'm completely different. Like, if I'm ever like in a loving marriage,
Yeah.
I will show that. And like, if I have kids, when if like, I will show that love. 'Cause I think
And that's what I think it did to
they-
us.
Yeah.
That's what it did to us.
And that's fact. Like,
We
I would.
want to do so much more, so much different than what we had when
Yeah,
it came
for sure.
to that. Man,
And like, and there's no like, not shit talking like my family.
yeah,
they
of
did
course.
it.
Like, I'm not
But
mad at my
just, like,
dad.
I'm not
No,
mad
it's
at
very
anyone,
objective.
But it's just, yeah,
It's an
just what I
objective
saw.
conversation.
Yeah,
And,
which is nothing.
And like, like I think I turned out fine. I think
Yeah.
they did a
We're
great
not even
job
saying that
raising.
we were longing for it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. Just
right. It's
No,
just that
it's
we,
just-
now,
it's just
now
a
we
question.
can realize.
Now we
it.
realize-
It's
yeah.
like-
Right.
and I think for me, it worked in like some way, a positive way, because I was able to like being able to start seeing the bigger picture in things.
Yeah.
And being that I say that, even though my parents didn't come out and say, "Oh, I love you," "Oh, come hug me, talk to you for this," that, or that. But whenever things hit the fan, they make sure they went the extra mile. Whenever, you know what I'm saying, we would provide for, there was a roof. There was a roof over our head. You know what I'm saying? In time for school, we would, you know what I'm saying, the things that was needed, and then some were there. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So coming out, graduating from that, I just pay attention to the greater things in life that like the bigger picture computes to like the little things that you're like, oh, okay, well, I didn't have that. Is it bigger than that? No, like the big picture is what I pay attention to from that.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Back to like growing up,
Tony?
the word love and all that. Are we running over time? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, so like, yeah, I didn't hear it from my
Behind the
dogs.
fourth wall.
Yeah, I didn't hear the yo, I love you from, my dogs growing up, my boys growing up, or my parents. I didn't hear that word. The only time I heard that word was from women I was like involved with. But other than that, like
Did you say it back? The term?
to those women,
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was just to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? But like
It was very loose.
very loose.
Right,
Thank
very
you,
loose
thank you
with
for saying that. Yeah, it was very loose. Just to
Just
take off the drawers.
That's
Yeah. So it was. I was saying it. What's the like? I was saying it to. I mean, you're Gail King.
To
over here. I'm just answering your
appease?
questions. So I was saying it just to like for my benefit. Yes, exactly.
To
There you
appease
go.
them.
I was saying it for my benefit. So no, I don't.
appease them.
The only like I tell when City does a favor for me, I say, yo, I love you, bro. When you do a favor for me, I say, I love you, bro. And I do that. I've done it now more that I'm older. But like in my teens, my early 20s, I never said that.
But
to
do you
anybody.
when you say it, is it like because you feel love for them? I'm not saying like
Yeah.
you know we were like
Yeah.
I don't like
No.
the word love. Like
It's
I
too much-
really
it's too
don't.
strong of a word.
I'm with the only person who I say it to is my girlfriend. We've
Yeah.
been together for 3.5 years now. The only time I say it is in relationships. I don't like saying it to my parents here and there, like when things are actually, ready to say it. But I try to refrain from that word because it's such a powerful word.
No,
So is
absolutely.
hate.
It is.
Absolutely.
They're like the yin and yang of love and hate. I when I was in high school, I remember like telling myself I need to stop using the word love for things that I just like, and I need to stop
had
saying
that thought.
hate for the things that I just dislike.
Yeah.
And another word that I also don't I try to take out is I can't.
I knew you were gonna go there. Can't is a word.
If you know, like, if you like don't like,
knew
you
that.
probably haven't got into it, but when you say the word "I can't"
Yeah.
around me, it just
Shutting
eats me,
yourself-
just
yeah.
because you just strictly just giving yourself no chance. So
Oh,
that's how I
knew you were
see
gonna
it.
I never
so
thought of
that
that.
word
Yeah.
"I can't," it just
I
eats
knew you were
me
gonna
off
say
the
that.
rap.
You've given me a talk about I
like,
can't.
like you know what I'm saying? Like
Just shutting
no,
yourself down from
Strict-
so
yeah,
many
yeah,
opportunities.
give yourself
and just,
no chance of
Okay.
fighting.
Yeah.
I see it.
The hate one is something I learned very
Yeah,
early
me
in
too.
life.
Me
Very,
too.
very early.
Yeah.
I try to. I always say dislike. I'll use any other word besides hate. Like I learned that very early, growing up. And then love. That's a fucking. powerful
It is. I don't play
Love?
with that word either. I don't play with
No,
it.
I say it to my boys.
No,
That's
I do
genuine.
like here and
Yeah.
there. It's interesting, and I always like getting people's perspective on the word love. It's even hard for me to say it right now. Like
Yeah.
and it's not because we're in public. It's not because of a masculinity thing. It's just like that word became difficult for me to say through certain, just things growing up. It was a word that was used to mean like, I'm sorry. And I would always buy into it and say it back as like, I forgive you. So that's what it turned into for me. And it's, again, like we talk about like doing work on that. That's something that I've buried deep. And like, I don't want to do the work on that because I think there's more important things to do right now. It's not hurting me in my relationship. I can say it to my girlfriend, but do I wish I said it to my parents more? Of course. Maybe to my friends or to the people that I like genuinely care about. Yeah, of course. But it's tough. It's just like I feel myself doing like the
Yeah.
like
That's
choking on
something
my
I think
words.
about a lot because it sucks to say, but like our family, our parents, grandparents, like they're not going to be here forever. I always think like as I get older, it's like, is that something I'm going to regret? Do I wish I said it more?
Come
While
on,
they're
grandma,
here.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that runs through my mind all the time. Like we're getting deep. Like I'll bring it there. I'm just like, shit.
Rest in peace,
like,
Mary. Yeah.
should I say it more often? Because like tomorrow's never guaranteed, and
You
wish
say that
that.
more often though, but make sure you're saying
to my
it with,
parents, with
Yeah.
meaning, of course.
Yeah, that's
but
what
just
I'm
like,
saying,
all right,
yeah.
when after talking to my
Some
mom,
people
it's
say
just
certain
like,
words. You just say it too much. You take the
takes-
the
yeah.
meaning from it. The
Yeah, for
like
sure.
the little
Yes.
like if I'm sorry, people say I hear I'm sorry too much. I'm like,
yeah,
When it
say
becomes-
when you mean
right,
that
right.
shit. You know what I'm
I just
saying? Like I work out here a lot.
Right.
I'm sorry. Stop.
Sorry, yeah.
Stop.
When
Just
it
say my
becomes
bad,
part
keep
of the
it
script.
moving.
for sure.
Yes.
Like I found
Yeah.
myself I guess naturally my girlfriend and I over time, like you said, the honeymoon phase goes away. I
Man,
love it.
tell
I
me
love the
about
fact
it.
that we can go and we can sit on opposite couches and she can watch a show on TV
Yeah.
and I just bought an iPad. I
Yeah,
tell
he
everybody
told
about
me
it,
about it.
and I watch my shit. I watch online gambling on my
You-
iPad.
you have it better
And
than
know
I
what?
had it.
Nobody's mad at each other. But like when we were living separate, we live together now, and that's been like a huge step for the relationship. But when we lived separate, it was always text good night and I love you and like text good morning.
Damn.
Bro, we don't always like, it's okay. Like if she doesn't say, if I say like, hey, good night, I love you. And she doesn't say it back, that's okay. She don't have to say it in that moment.
You already know what it is.
I know
it
she
is.
feels it. And it's the same thing coming back to me. And honestly, it's such a relief to not feel like,
You've passed that
like,
stage,
oh,
man.
I have to get to, like, I have to say this to you right now. I have to tell you I love you because I don't want to, like, not because I don't.
No, go ahead. I gotta say something to that. Go ahead.
Go for it.
No. I want Paul to finish.
No, I'm good.
Nah, you know what's crazy? For me, my head will start racing if my girl doesn't say it back. It'll be like, hold up, who she texting now? Like
this guy, Drew.
this is no. I'm saying this is.
But he's talking about after 3.5 years. Like that security
I'm
is
saying
there though. Like,
I know, but I'm saying even after 3.5 years, I'm thinking to myself.
damn.
I'm saying to myself.
Somebody
I would
fucked you up heavy, Jules.
No, but I'm just saying this is just me. I would just say to myself, damn, is he losing interest? This and that. But like, I wish I was as secure. as you.
Probably the honeymoon phase is going away.
Yeah. Nah, that's just how like my mind works.
Like, here's the thing though, that shit's cool. Like,
Exactly.
I love the fact I don't know. I feel like I've had a hard time making friends growing up, and fortunately, by working at I work at the same place Aunt does, and I've been able to make a lot of friends out there.
Are you
and
introverted? I'm sorry. Were you?
Yeah, I think I'm super anxious when it comes to like doing anything socially. Like I always shake. It's mostly because of the lithium I take.
Oh, okay.
But, it's also because of a lot of anxiety. But my anxiety, I think, pushes me to talk because I don't like the silence. Yeah. And I ramble. I like hearing myself talk. That's why I love podcasts. But introverted, it's tough. It depends on the day.
Oh, I got you.
I've taken a lot of personality tests over the years, and I've gotten a different thing every time. I think the one I've hit the most is like the advocate. I forget which is maybe like INFJ. It's like introverted, but like is constantly trying to help people. So I've tried to chill out on helping people because not everybody wants like my advice.
That's a good one. Let's go. What do you guys think? You're more introverted or extroverted? Let's go quickly. I always get the extrovert.
I can answer off of Paul's stuff. So like, cause Paul said that he didn't really like making friends growing up. For me, because I was the only child, I was forced to. So so like it naturally came for me to be friendly. But so my parents would always tell me though, growing up, they'd be like, "Yo, you have too many friends. You have too many friends. You have too many friends." Wow. And then I didn't really realize it, right? But once I went away to college, I saw my circle getting smaller because people were going to school in Cali, Minnesota, Georgia,
North Carolina,
Florida, and so I would lose a large section of my friends, and then I would kind of see what my parents were telling me, like, "Yo, you have too many friends. You gotta chill out." And that.
That's interesting.
So, but I think like from my 20s to like even to now, people always be like, yo, Julian, you're quiet, and I'd be like, what do you mean? What am I quiet? Like, if you want to ask me something, come ask me something. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not gonna walk up to you and ask you for your social security number. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, ask me whatever you want to ask me. Yeah. But people would always say that, like, not in like high school, but from college all the way up to like 30s, people would say like, "Oh, you're quiet." Like, no, I'm not quiet. I'll talk to you. But yeah, my friend circle is so small, so small.
That's crazy. I had the complete. I wanted to say I had the complete opposite experience than you.
Oh, okay.
High school, I had a very small circle, and as I got older, my circle got bigger. Because I was always and I would have the same thing that would happen to me in high school. Why are you so quiet? You're mute? You're mute. You don't talk. But people would always joke, "Oh, but Chopin is so much different outside of school than he is." Like, they would see me at the basketball courts or wherever, youth centers or whatever, growing up, and like they would see me with my closest friends, and like they would see me joke, or even at the cafeteria, or like if I had a class in high school with like one person, like some of my friends, like if I had Sean or like Tommy in one of my classes, like I'd be like almost a class I just have one friend that I could fucking talk to and joke around with. But like I did not open up to people other than that, like I didn't talk to girls. I didn't in high school. I didn't. I just cared about my friends and going home after that, either playing sports, playing video games, and then going home, watching 106 in Park or something. Do my homework and go to bed. So like, I didn't like. So like, it wasn't until like I met you guys, and then like, I kind of like, he will probably have a part to say in this, where like I definitely started like I would surround more people, and like they helped me just like. You would expand myself, and like I started to see different things. I started to, and I was still young at this time, and I started like look at things differently, and like my circle, like my personality would come out more. And then I eventually like thought we all left that school, and then that just continued. I ended up moving. I'm in a whole different city where I don't know anyone. I got to make just experiences with you guys at a younger age. Oh, DC, right? Yeah, DC just helped me grow into that person, and like now I would say my personality is more. Extrovert. I think I've always had the extroverted personality in me, but just at a young age, I was always realize that like, like I could just like pinpoint just like, I hate to say it, but like shitty people, like people I didn't want to like be involved with. So like once I found my circle by like my freshman, sophomore year in high school, I was just like, okay, like this is all I need. And then like as I got older, I was just able to open up more. I got you. But makes as you say, like you open up to more people, you set yourself up more for disappointment. Exactly.
But don't you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it. Don't you think? I think the personality things is very similar to like horoscopes. Maybe a little bit more reason behind personality types, but everybody breaks out of their personality type a little bit. Like it's not that does not confine you. And if you're the type of person that strictly conforms to whatever the letter formulation, that 4-letter formation it is, that is your personality. Like that's crazy to me. I don't care if it says I'm introverted. When I am feeling good, I'll be extroverted. If I'm feeling comfortable in a situation,
for sure.
Like I definitely agree with some of the things that are in my personality type, whichever one it is. But again, like I said, like I fit into so many different ones depending on the day. Like it depends on my mood. It depends on how you feel when you take it. Like say you just had a breakup, you took a personality quiz. You're probably going to be more introverted. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll flip and you'll be more extroverted because you want to go out and do more. Like, who knows what it's going to be? Like, it's just like you can't lump yourself into a box, whatever it may be. Like, and I feel like I learned that in high school. Everybody just saw me as a baseball player. Now, I didn't want to be a baseball player. I wanted to make movies. Like, I wanted to do, be a video editor at the time. I don't want to do that anymore. I've moved past that, but I was sick of people lumping me into this box of just being an athlete because I don't like feeling like I'm trapped in one single thing. And these personality things, they do that for me. Like, just like for anybody, they got to break out and do whatever they have to do.
But can you blame people though for when they were doing that? Especially when they didn't know you personally?
I just felt like it was invalidating to all the other things that I was good at. I was a really good, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm good at helping people. Like, I've always felt like I'm good at helping people. I thought I was a very good writer. I thought that I had great contributions to class, even though I wasn't the best student. I thought there were plenty of different things that you could look and be like, wow, he's good at that. Like, he's good at that. And he's like, even though it's maybe only 2 things that you see, like, it's still better than one. Like, I felt like being lumped in a box as just an athlete was like, honestly, that did worse things for me because at some point I bought into it. I was like, fuck it, I'm an athlete. Like, and early in high school, that's what I did. And all I cared about, getting a scholarship. And I got one, and I pissed it away because I was just an athlete. I didn't give a fuck about school. Because I was an athlete. Yeah, that's what everyone was telling me. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to get grades. So any scholarship I got immediately flushed down the drain because I didn't meet the NCAA's requirement to get into school. So I had to do an extra year. And that's when I tried to start breaking out of things. And it went from, Division I offers to, I ended up playing baseball at a D3 school. It was a great school, great baseball school. We went to the College World Series a couple times. Amazing time. But again, even there, I was just viewed as an athlete, and that shit sucked. It was the 4 most miserable years of my life because everybody else on campus saw me as an athlete, and especially being at like a small liberal arts school, being an athlete is not cool. You do not want to be an athlete. Nobody fucks with the athletes. You have no friends. It causes you to just tighten up. So I don't know.
It's a different perspective. I've never seen it that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, people can only. I definitely feel what you're saying, but to an extent, it's like people can only like and feel what they see and know. You know what I'm saying? Unless like I said, unless they're your personal friends, before they can be like, oh wow, I know this. But if somebody just like right now we know LeBron James, but we know nothing of like what he likes. We just see him as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So we don't we know little things, but do we really know what LeBron really like other stuff?
I feel like we do in the limelight.
I feel like in like now with like today's like the day and age that
Social media,
we get to see more inside of his life.
Right.
I think LeBron. I get what you're saying. I don't think LeBron is the right person to say.
Right, because he has a lot that people can see on social media.
I think there's certain athletes are certain.
Right, but nobody's like even then. But nobody's really. I get what you're saying. It can perspective. I never thought about it. How you can get boxing, and that makes a lot of sense of how you can feel that way. But then for the people's defense, it's like they're just gonna praise what they see, and what they see is great. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like want to know more, unless it's like your girlfriend or your close friend, they get to see the outside and get to know like oh, you're talking about Paul? Oh yeah, Paul plays baseball. But to me, like you talk about Soul Podcast. Yeah, but do you know like A, B, C, and D else? Because I know that, you know what I'm saying. But besides, everybody else would just know what this is.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're
but
right.
that was a dope. I would have never thought about that ballpark. What you just said, and that people just telling you that what you believe. You don't want to. And you watch movies, little movies with stuff like that about the athlete, and everybody's just like him, and he's just walking around like, I'm an athlete. You know what I'm saying?
It goes with the saying.
Yeah.
It was LeBron James saying, but more than an athlete, like they're like you're deeper. Like it's deeper than that.
Dope. That was
but
little setup.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Big.
What you?
What are you thinking, Jules? It looks like you just got something on your mind.
No, are you picking from your little tree of not sharing to share?
No, I was gonna make a comment on LeBron, but
say it.
Say it. Okay. I was gonna say but like look at the Space Jam movie, right? So everybody was comparing to the 2021 Space Jam to the 1996, but he could be dealing with like the pressure of like, damn, did I live up to the like whatever, like the critics or whatever, Rotten Tomatoes or whatever.
I'm sure LeBron was, especially making this because people, the anticipation for this, people.
I mean, it was. I mean, I only watched half of the movie. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that great. I didn't watch it. Did you watch it? Yeah. I only watched half. I watched it like the weekend it came out. I mean, it was trash. I love LeBron, but it was trash.
Yeah, but yeah, like I don't know, like LeBron definitely does deal with like other stuff.
Yeah,
like personal life. I'm sure he's wanted to fire up a blunt a million times from like.
I mean, his son did.
Yeah. Shout out Bron.
And he drinks a lot of this. He drinks
imagine
a lot of
when
wine.
he was burning his jerseys. Imagine what was going through then.
And he was
Thank
younger.
you.
Imagine that. And he was younger.
You don't realize he was 25 years old when he joined Miami.
That's crazy.
He was 25 years old.
So
that means he was what in his 21, 22-ish when that jersey burning happened.
Yeah.
Like imagine that.
Yeah.
A whole city.
Yeah.
State is on you.
Well,
he's 25. Yeah.
He's just a person.
Yeah, he's
the
just
only
he's a
time
human.
he sees himself is his reflection. He's never like looked at himself like we look at him. Like he's going onto the court and see, like if I were in his shoes, it's like I am seeing in a first person. Like imagine, like that's just a human out there, who is, unbelievable basketball player. I hate to admit it, but
he's a human first. And then like everybody's rooting for him to lose the finals, and it's just like I know LeBron's just
They
like
hate me that much. Imagine all that stuff you were saying. Just imagine LeBron just like, why do they hate me so much? You know what I'm saying? Like that's hating me. Like
owner, like the owner with the letter.
Dan Gilbert. Yeah,
Dan Gilbert.
That's what I'm saying.
Like waking up with that.
He's a billionaire and he suffers from stuff that the everyday person has, like that deals with, like it's just like pressure, stress.
You just got a lot of money dealing with all that shit.
Yeah, but still he's
in
still
a lavish lifestyle.
Do you think he likes open up his Twitter or his IG and seeing comments like you're a loser?
I don't think he's reading that.
Remember
to keep it a buck though,
Yeah.
if you're telling me I'm a loser and I'm
City,
rich and I know I'm not a loser and I'm doing nothing loser rich.
I think LeBron has that mentality that he's saying.
He made, but I'm saying that's you.
I hope LeBron, if I know that these guys do so much charitable stuff, so much giving, but if you know purely, that's how I live.
Yeah.
You know purely that you're very genuine, you're giving back as much as you can.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're pure in this heart. I don't care what you tell me. I'm missing a damn shot or make my decision by going anywhere else. I'm doing it for my well-being. After that, I know in Akron, I built a whole school and I started a whole something else. But because I made a choice, you want me, you want to do all this. Fuck you.
No,
like
for
dead
sure,
ass.
for
I don't
sure,
care
for
what
sure.
you post on anything.
But for sure.
I don't care where you post it. I'm going to
just saying,
still
like,
be that same person. Doing
when he was 24, 23, whatever, and people were saying ringless king and stuff like that, it's just
I
like,
know it was eat him. That had to eat him. Because the comparison to Jordan was heavy.
it's a lot.
Wayne number 23 is heavy.
Look
It's
at what
a
they're
lot.
doing to like even like LaMelo Ball when he came into the league,
Oh,
or Lonzo
Yeah,
when
yeah.
Lonzo came into the
Lonzo.
Lonzo's
Yeah.
crazy.
Example.
Lonzo
Lonzo's
is
a great
my
example.
age.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking like.
And his
well,
dad
I don't
did
know.
all
I'm not
that.
gonna sell
Yeah.
myself short. Like
Yeah.
I could probably like deal with it, but maybe not as good as Lonzo. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: like these are.
Yeah.
There was a point,
shit
and
was on
I've
another
crossed
level.
over the bridge where like all these athletes are now younger than me, and
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy. Like
It's
that's when I
different.
realized I was old, or starting to get old. Is like
He's almost 30.
these are young, like
They're 19.
Yeah.
Especially in the NBA, like one and done's going, they're 19 years old.
Like, of course they gotta smoke. Of course they gotta go out and drink.
yeah, James
Like-
Book Knight last night put some dude in an absolute poster, and he's
Right.
like 18 or 19 years
Right.
old, and I'm 24, and I will never see the amount of money that he makes. Now that doesn't mean that my life is not valuable, or that I'm not going to live as good of a life as he might.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like a crazy thought process. I know that's a wild side turn, but still.
That's what this podcast is about, taking those wild turns.
No, I know. Just
but-
going down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
for sure. No, but yeah, for sure.
But no, all these
that's real.
athletes have contracts that they have to look like. The larger the contract, the more pressure it is, in that city.
And there is no loyalty. These owners, these
It's a
generators do not-
business.
It's a business first.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
fun. Like you said, like I think City said it earlier. It's like, or maybe one of you guys said it. It's like once you get to college, it becomes a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get into college, it becomes a job.
And you're
then you get
disposable.
You're disposable, and then
So
into the
easily.
pros, it's
So
even
easily,
worse.
yeah.
It is you. I think there's a meme that always goes around. Not a meme, like a video that goes around, and it's the dude. It's like during training camp. I think the Jets were on Hard Knocks one year, and like he goes with his key card to open the door, and his key card doesn't work.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he's just like,
we all
"Oh
seen
shit!"
that.
Yeah,
you've
I
seen
see
that.
that.
He's like, "Oh shit! Like I guess I'm cut. And you're
Yeah.
that disposable that they before even letting you know your
a
key card is
senior captain my freshman. This is when I realized like the college level and up is not a joke. A senior captain got cut.
wow."
His mental health.
Like everybody's disposable. We talk about it at work all the time. Like me and Ant work at a job that's relatively stressful. I'm not going to go into it just because it's not. Unfortunately,
we
we
don't
can't.
learn about it.
But like everybody is disposable. Like we work where we work. It is a young man's game, and you're either gonna develop and they're gonna help you get a degree, or you're gonna burn out. It's one of the two, and they're not gonna pay you anymore because even though they know you deserve more, they're going to get the next college kid in.
Yeah.
They're going to take the low pay, and they're going to get their ass kicked. They're
Yep.
going to get beat down, and then see ya. We'll get the next kid.
Right.
Like,
While you got rent, you got all this stuff, all these utilities that you gotta, afford. But yeah, life is crazy. Life is
You
freaking
just gotta
crazy.
keep pushing.
It's mental health.
Yeah, it's
It's
mental
all
health.
mental health.
Depression.
Yeah.
I can
That
only
shit will
imagine.
all-
Wow.
It's big. Man, we hit so many corners. I mean, I could keep going. We could keep talking for fucking
Keep going.
hours on this.
yeah, I mean,
Right.
Ask some more questions.
it's crazy. I mean, even
Yeah, we
like,
could.
I don't know. It's up to y'all.
No, we can keep going. This is good talk. What are you looking at for time, bro? Hour 30.
Ooh,
That's a little long, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Wrap it up.
we'll wrap it up on this note.
All right.
I feel like this was very therapeutic though,
sure.
for me. Just chopping it up with y'all.
No, it was. It was
Yeah.
good. Learning a lot of stuff that came out. Just sometimes
Yeah.
just talking just
It's-
feels good when you just
It does just
feel it.
get that
Even on
shit off your
camera,
shoulder.
just like I don't even. When I'm on camera, I don't feel like
You
I'm
don't
on
feel,
camera.
yeah. That's what it is. I feel like we're
for
just
real,
chatting.
I don't,
Like,
really
I don't
feel like I'm on this shit. Just
don't
like
either.
chopping up. But for real, just it's therapeutic, like you said. Just letting things out. Mental health is all. Talk, people. Let
got
things
to.
out.
Hey.
Be honest. Be free from people. You can just like.
I feel like City was always like this. Do you agree,
In
Jules?
terms of what?
In terms of being that, let it all out. be free flowing. I feel like we both played a little part.
Growing up a city.
Oh, you grew up with him.
Yeah.
So maybe.
No, I think
I-
like half and half.
Half and half. I feel like more.
I would
I feel like
agree,
more
more.
recently you've been more.
I've learned more affection. I've learned more.
I think we've helped each
open
other
up.
out on both ends of you making me, thicker skin, and me also like
Yeah, I can agree with
we
that.
opening up more.
Yeah, but like I always say, life will form you to be a certain way, and
for sure.
My growing up ain't sweet, but
Yeah.
it's become sweeter.
For sure. I mean, man, this was a great episode.
Great.
Before
Also, you
we
officially-
close, I
yeah,
just
for
want to
sure,
say,
you know.
like, if anybody is in a bad spot or a tough spot, the suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. Make sure to call, get yourself help.
For sure.
You're not in it alone. Reach out to a friend. People are available to talk to you. Someone is always available to help. And not to like your situation is valid. Everybody's validated. Get the help that you need. It's not embarrassing. You got to do what you got to do, and it's not worth it to hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to think about everything in perspective.
Yeah.
Tell a
Appreciate
friend
that.
to tell a friend.
Yeah. I appreciate you for shouting that number out. And then, I think you're officially a friend of the program, friend of the show. So we hope to have you back at some point. So we
definitely
can just
up.
chop it up. But yeah, it's for that, episode 15. As per usual, 15. The Vince Carter number. So
Good shit, Paul.
on that, Jules.
I like that. Vince Carter.
Yeah, we out until next time. We out.
Hey, girls just wanna have fun. We turning up. Someone wrote a runs. Someone pour a cup. Cause tonight we going up and coming down. It's gonna be a while. Someone jump up in the crowd. Throw your hands up, go wild. Jump up and down. Cause tonight we turning up. Yeah, tonight we going up. Yeah, tonight.